Let's begin. Begin by closing your eyes. Take in a long, deep breath, slowly and deeply, filling your lungs. Notice your self-awareness. Notice your feet on the ground. Notice the way your hands feel. Notice the way your shoulders feel. And begin to breathe. As we breathe in, we will breathe in slowly through our nose, deeply for 5 seconds, feeling a tightness in our lungs. And we will hold our breath for 2 seconds. And then we will slowly exhale for 7 seconds through our mouth. Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. As you continue to breathe like this, notice that you are receiving the loving presence of Christ. You're breathing in His life, the way you were always intended to breathe. We often shorten our breath at times when we experience stress and anxiety, and God wants us to bring us back to the way we were intended to receive His presence. Continue to breathe this way and feel the gift of your breathing. I want you to imagine being somewhere way away from civilization. Maybe where there are wildflowers, and you find yourself at the edge of a woods. As you breathe in, see if you can smell the air. Maybe you can smell the trees. Maybe you can hear the sounds of the edge of the woods. You find that you're beginning to walk on a journey that's very important to you. In fact, this is an important journey, one of the most important journeys of your life. You find yourself walking and walking through the woods. You find yourself, in fact, walking until it almost becomes dark. Suddenly you see up ahead in a clearing that there's a campfire. You feel drawn to it, and so you approach, and you stop and actually warm yourself for a little while. And by the fire, you find that you meet a wise guide, one who helps you understand the next part of your journey. The guide walks with you for a little bit further on the path. And as they walk with you, you see lights up ahead that are lights through the windows of a cabin. Slowly and kindly, your guide leads you to the door, where you remove your shoes, and the guide says, "Before you open this door, you must understand what this cabin is. It is your heart. When you step inside, you will see and feel things in your heart openly, and you will have an awareness of your deepest longings. While there, you won't be able to lie or pretend, because that is only possible outside your heart. The only things you won't feel are those that you are not able to bear at this time. You slowly look down at the door handle, and you reach out, and you open it. As you step inside this first room with your guide, you see that it is filled with people for whom you have love and either are in your life now or have been in your life in the past. And you look around and you feel the warmth in this room. You see their faces. Look around and notice who is here. These people have been there for you for maybe a while or maybe a short time, but you've grown in relationship with these people, and you find your heart brimming over with love and appreciation for the people in this room. And in this room you find that the sense of stability and strength are abundant, because these people are the ones who encourage you to be who it is that you truly are. And they encourage you to become a better person. At the other side of this room is a door leading to another room. You feel drawn to it, and so you do walk there with your guide. You open it and step inside this second room. In this room, there are people with whom you have acted in some way for which you feel remorse. Maybe there are some you hurt in some way, or you betrayed or lied to, maybe even raged at, became indifferent towards, or whatever happened. You see the truth in this room. They do not say anything to you or make any accusations, and you find that you cannot speak. You can only see what is true and feel. You may be even surprised to find that you feel some compassion, and you can come back to this room at any time that you like in the future. Then you and your guide walk through this room, and you go to a door at the back of the room that leads to yet again one more room. With your guide, you open this door, and you and your guide step into this third room, where you see a fire in a fireplace, and you find that you and your guide are alone. All you are aware of is your breathing and feeling all of the things in your heart. Notice what it is that you're longing for. As you walk up to the fire, embrace its warmth with your guide, you see that there is a chair, giving you the ability to sit down and take in this moment in the fire's presence. A door at the other end of this room opens behind you. And Jesus walks into this room and slowly walks up beside you. As you look over at him and he looks at you, you notice his eyes and you see his compassion. As he moves even closer to you, he puts his arms out, inviting you to come to him. You notice him putting his arms around you and holding you lovingly and safely while you grieve and ache in your heart. Take a moment to just let yourself feel that. Hear what Jesus says to you. No matter how many things your guilt and shame confess, his love and his forgiveness are more. Then Jesus takes a step back, ever so slightly and kindly, and he puts his hands on your arms. He looks right into your eyes and says, "You are my child, and I love you so much. There is no expanse that is wide enough, nothing high enough, or even low, nothing dark that could ever keep me from you. My child, I run to you." Let yourself hear anything else that Jesus wants to say to you. Kindly, Jesus looks at you and then looks at your guide, and you know that Jesus is beginning to introduce you to the guide that you've been with. The guide is his Spirit, who will lead you back and will stay with you and continue to lead you always. And so in this place where you feel his loving presence, you look to your guide, and you imagine then that you begin to walk out the back door of the cabin with your guide, knowing now who your guide is, and knowing this guide will never leave you. Slowly and kindly you walk back through the woods, noticing the way you feel now because of your close presence of Jesus in your heart. You notice the wildflowers. You walk by the campfire as you continue on, and you find yourself just outside where you're sitting right now. You imagine yourself for just a minute, looking actually at yourself sitting in the room that you're at in this moment. You see the guide standing beside you. And then you imagine coming back inside where you are sitting, and you feel your guide close by. Feel the presence of his Spirit with you. As you open your eyes and look around, you notice the comfort you feel. And though you may not see him, he will never leave you or forsake you. And you are completely aware that you feel his presence. This was the way you were intended to start every day of your life. Today you walk with Him in strength, in truth, in love, and you lack nothing.